This is Janelle Isaacson with Living Room Realty, and this is the market report for June 5th. So, this past week has brought with it a wide variety of emotions for many of us as we face the horrific tragedy of George Floyd, but also in knowing that this is yet another repeated moment in our country's long, dark history of systematic oppression, injustice, racism, and further evidence of our white supremacy culture. So I've had many of you from the industry reach out, ask what you can do. So for white agents, I think it's really important that we need to start getting comfortable talking about race and having these conversations. And I have some resources for you to start with. The first thing, if you're local, I would recommend the Center for Equity and Inclusion's course on reframing racism. Will help you disrupt racism. It also has a lot of history about how we got here, and you can really see how so many of the racist policies, the segregation that happens in our schools, so much of those core issues have root in housing policies. So as a real estate professional, I just can't think of a better way to really educate and understand and create change. The other thing, I have some books that I pulled off my shelf that I think are really great. My absolute favorite, and I think the most useful one, especially for white agents out there or white audience members, is White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. This book is really fantastic, and it's going to help you get more comfortable realizing that you're going to have to be uncomfortable to be inside of this conversation, and the fragility that white people have about talking about race. And once we can dismantle that within ourselves, we're going to be much better allies for our Black friends and friends of color. So some other books that I do highly recommend is The New Jim Crow. The author is in this quite a few times if you've watched the Netflix series 13, but Michelle Alexander. This book's really fantastic. Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. Also, check out his TED Talk. It always brings me to tears. It's beautiful. His work's fantastic. There's also a movie coming out about his life. This book, The Color of Law, by Richard Rothstein. It's the forgotten history of how our government segregated America. And again, you'll find a lot of things around housing, policies, the systematic oppression that happens that's led us to the situation that we're in now. This book is really great too. Shelley Touchluck. It is Witnessing Whiteness. And this is the need to talk about race and how to do it. And then finally, I've referenced this book many, many times. It's Matthew Desmond's book, Evicted. And he dives deep into Black poverty and white poverty and the effects on race in homelessness and housing insecurity. But all of these books are a really great place to jump from, and I would love to see agents and our clients join in. And if anybody wants to have a discussion after they've read it, please reach out to me. I would love to discuss. So that being said, let's talk a little bit about what the market's doing. We really don't have much news this week. It's almost mirrored to where it was last week. Our market action index is still at 48. This is a little less than last month's of 50, but inventory is held really steady, and we've seen the prices plateauing over the last week. So if you're a seller right now, be sure to price right at market. This isn't the time to be speculative. Let's see, the average list this week was 582. That's up last week, last week was 582. It's up this week to 589. So average list price was a little higher this week. And median days on market this week went down 1 day. Sold, the average list price was 462. And the median days on market was 14. Median list price 419.5 compared to the median sold. So this is interesting to me because this is the largest gap between sold and listed we have seen. It's been $500, like things are selling within $500, not much negotiation happening, and all of a sudden now we see on this week 5,000. So I'm going to guess, because we don't have a whole picture yet without more information, but I'm going to guess that some of those things that have been sitting longer, people are really negotiating hard on, and we're seeing that happen. And I think buyers are in a frame of mind to do a little more negotiation. So that's been interesting to see a $5,000. That's 10 times more than it's been. So not that buyers negotiate all that much in our culture, but yeah, to go from 500 to 5,000, that was significant this week. And then the rental market continues to tighten. Forbes had a list that Portland's the number two city people are moving to. There's a lot of optimistic things around business in the city, but also what they had mentioned from another study was the top 3 metro areas that people are moving to from to come to Portland is number 1 is Salem, our sister city just to the south. Number 2, Seattle, our sister city right up to the north, and then Los Angeles. So I thought that was really interesting. I didn't expect to see Salem as number 1. Anyway, if you have any questions about the market or how we can support you right now, please feel free to reach out to your agent, or you can reach out to us at the office, and we're here for you. We'd love to talk to you, and be safe, be well, and take action. All right. Thank you.